Hey everybody, this is Coach Newton, your favorite PE teacher. This video is going to be an instructional video. Before we start our basketball unit, we need to figure out what type of footwear will be appropriate for the basketball unit. So many times as a head basketball coach at all levels, middle school, high school, semi-pro, collegiate, I've seen kids and adults come try to play basketball with the inappropriate type shoe. This can lead to all types of lower extremity injuries and shorten your playing career. So we're going to go over how to properly select a good basketball shoe to support you and help extend the life of your basketball playing career. The first shoe are the Jordan 1s. Now, this is his very first shoe. If you keep up with Michael Jordan, the famous Chicago Bulls player, 6-time NBA champion, Olympian, gold medalist. He's done it all as far as basketball, but he came out with his signature shoe early on in his career. So the Jordan 1s they're numbered. This is the first type of shoe, not the actual first shoe, but the first type of shoe he came out with, and he actually played in these. So as you can see, the Jordan 1s are pretty much flat. Michael Jordan has flat feet. So the inside, as you can imagine, are pretty much flat. Probably can't see really well in there, but it's pretty much flat. No curvatures or anything in the sole of the shoe. It's flat. These I would stay away from if you require a lot of support. Now, younger athletes may be able to get away with this, but as you get older, you have to think about buying shoes that support your feet. So for my high school class, maybe you can get away with these, but as you get older, these are a no-no. Our next shoe, these are LeBron James, the famous Cleveland Cavalier, the famous Miami Heat player. Now he's currently with the LA Lakers, but these are his shoes. These were, as you can see, the color scheme is tailored to the actual team he's on now, the Los Angeles Lakers. These shoes are basketball shoes. As you can see, they don't have a whole lot of ankle support. It's cut low. If you're injury prone with turning your ankle, twisting your ankle, things like that, you have weak ankles, I would stay away from this shoe because there's no ankle support. But they are stylish. Unlike the Jordan 1s, they do have a curvature in the sole of the shoe. It's actually curved for a high arcing foot. If you think about the shape of your foot, there's an arc in your foot. So it's usually on the inside of the foot here, and here's where the arc is in the actual sole of the shoe. So these are okay, but if you require ankle support, I will stay away from these. Our next shoe are the Jordan 12s. This is the 12th shoe that he came out with during his career. Now these, as you can see, they do have ankle support. So there's a check for that. There's a plus for that. On the inside, unlike the Jordan 1s, they aren't just flat when you talk about the sole of the shoe. It has an actual small arc right here on the inside of the foot. In both pairs of shoes, there's a small arc there. So it's not as flat as the Jordan 1s. So these are actually a good shoe to play basketball in. Here we have the Jordan 3s. This is the third shoe in his long series of shoes that he came out with. But as you can see, again, we talk about the ankle support. We do want these. These are the ankle support that you're looking for, okay? They actually have also a small arc on the inside of the shoe, which would mimic the inside of your foot. They have a small arc there, and they're actually pretty cushy and comfortable. I've actually played basketball in a pair of the Jordan 3s, and they were really, really comfortable. So thumbs up for the Jordan 3s. These are actually a good basketball shoe to have. Here we have another pair of LeBrons, okay? These are, again, there's a little bit higher, a little bit more ankle support than the first LeBrons that I showed you. It is not a high top shoe. It's not considered a high top shoe. It's more like a mid when you're talking about ankle support. But here is the unique thing about these LeBrons. Okay, so you have a typical shoe where you have to lace it up. But these, it's a little bit more snug. You still have the laces, but it's kind of like a sleeve when you put your foot in it. And then you just tighten it up when you tighten up the shoelaces. So that gives you more support there to compensate for the lack of ankle support with the actual shoe on the outside. You get this sleeve-like feeling when you slide your foot in, and you can tighten it up using the shoelaces. So these, they're a pretty good shoe for high school kids. Last but not least, these are my favorite. I actually play basketball in these currently, and I'm 39 years old. So these are a great basketball shoe. I'm gonna give my thumbs up for this shoe. This is also a LeBron shoe, as you can see his little silhouette here. But these have everything you want in a basketball shoe. Okay, they have the ankle support here. Remember the sleeve feeling we talked about, it mimics a sleeve once you slide your foot in. And the shoelaces are actually covered, so you don't have to worry so much about the shoe coming untied, because as we'll get into in a second, tying your shoelaces tight is a big part of your ankle support as well. But this also has the little push, and it connects the shoelaces, so you don't have to worry about them slipping out and you have to keep bending over, stopping the game, tying up your shoes. So this is actually in place to help you keep your shoelaces tied. Now, they're also flexible. You want a flexible shoe because your foot flexes. You don't want a shoe that's going to be stiff, meanwhile your foot is inside the shoe and it's not able to flex because the shoe is not flexible. So this shoe is a good shoe. Now, we're going to move on to how to actually apply the shoe. And I know this is like, Coach Newton, I know how to put my shoes on and tie my shoes. I've been doing it since I was in kindergarten. That's great. But when you're talking about playing basketball, with all the movement that you do with your body, you have to jump and you have to land and you have to pivot and you have to turn, all these things you do with your feet in the game of basketball. If these shoes are not applied correctly to your feet, you can cause some lower extremity injuries, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. So once you put your foot in the shoe, you're gonna tighten this part to your liking. Okay, you're talking about ankle support. You want it to be tight, but not too tight to where it cuts off your circulation. We do not want it that tight, but we want it to be firm so our foot can stay in place. That's what we want. And you want to tie up your shoelaces, of course. You don't want to trip over a shoelace. And I also may recommend ankle braces, some type of ankle support, whether you go see an athletic trainer and get your ankles taped, or what you can do is purchase ankle braces. Ankle braces are good. I find them a little bit bulky. It makes sure your shoe can flex to get your foot in with an ankle brace on it. So make sure you have room to do that when you purchase ankle braces. But those are good to prevent ankle injuries. That's very important when you're talking about playing a game of basketball. So this is my instructional video as it comes to an end. I know that you probably thought, hey, this is kind of elementary. I'm in high school. I understand how to pick a basketball shoe. This goes into depth as to why it's important to pick a specific basketball shoe. You don't want to be out there in a flat basketball shoe, because that could definitely cause issues. There's a reason we don't play in Chuck Taylors anymore. Thank you. This has been Coach Newton, and we're looking forward to starting our basketball unit, but come in the appropriate shoe. We'll see you next time.